First attempt at firing up the old Seddon. We're going to now get it into the workshop. We've made some room, get it inside, start to do some stripping.
See, we've got reduced here. Oh, we've got power.
See if it fires. Of course it fires up. You expect anything different. Yeah. Gauges seem to work, don't they?
Yeah, oil pressure's up. Volts is up now. Battery light stayed on for quite a while when we fired it up. I mean, it's like cut out.
Battery completely flat, aren't they? Air's going up alright though.
Yeah.
In she goes. See if any lights work. Indicator that side. Right hand. Don't know where buttons is. Headlights, yeah. Indicator. And that indicator's out. You got right hand on there, hazards? Well, we know the back ones aren't going to work. They're a bit knackered. Oh, we got one on. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So I thought I'd do you a little update on this Seddon project. A few of you guys have been commenting on other videos, sending some emails asking where we're up to with this and asking for a video. So I thought I'd give you a little update on it. We'll have a little walk around. You'll notice there that it is quite stripped now, so there is some work been going on with this vehicle. As I said on a previous video, there's only so much I can film on this because it is in our main workshop in Middleton and not everybody wants to be on camera, so the footage has been quite minimal on this, but I will try and get some more footage as we go along on this project. I'll try and get you as much footage as I can. So let's have a little walk around. I'll show you what we've been up to. So you'll notice there now, all the front end is stripped off. We've got the corner panels off. These was quite tricky. Some of these bolts was snapped in. We've actually put some riv nuts back in there now. You see there's some bolts where we've been just testing the fit on those riv nuts. We've got a little bit of rust going on up across this lip. Nothing major really. A lot of it's just flaky paint and surface rust. Heater matrix are quite dead. They're probably going to want recoring or replacing. More likely get them recored. We can find a place locally to us that can do it. This front end was quite difficult to get off. A lot of these bolts was rusty. we did have to chop quite a lot of these off. Now, we've decided we're not going to attempt to take these grab handles off because we don't really want to break them, and the bolts that are in there are so rusty that we just can't get them out. So they are solid, they're not going anywhere, so we'd rather leave them on and work around them than break them and make a mess. You'll notice as well that the wiper linkages are still on. Now they are way rusty. We can't actually get these off as yet, and these are completely seized solid. So we've got our parts suppliers on the hunt trying to find us a new wiper mechanism, but as yet we haven't found any. Again, if you guys know of any decent suppliers where we can get some parts from for this Seddon, we are struggling with some bits and bobs. We have been able to source some parts, but not everything we need up to this point. So if anyone knows of anywhere decent that can supply parts for this vehicle, please drop that down in the comments for us. It'd be a massive help. So let's carry on walking around. One thing we did notice, it looks like this side has had a small impact. Now we did notice that it looked a little bit out of line when all the panels was on, but now it's stripped. You can clearly see that this is all bent. This little impact bar on the front is all bent, but it's only steel. It's quite thin steel, so we should be able to manipulate this and straighten it up and get it back in place. And if we can't, there's not a lot to it. We should be able to fabricate a new one of them quite easily. Steering box is just starting to weep a little bit, so we'll probably get that off and get this rebuilt and resealed, get all new oil seals and stuff put in there. The UJ is actually alright, it's just the main seals and stuff that we'll probably want doing on that, so that's going to be one of the things we're going to get up to soon. But for now we want to leave this vehicle in a movable, mobile position, so we don't want to take that off just yet because this will be coming in and out the garage a couple of times. We want to get it out once we finish the strip and get it all jet washed off, steam cleaned, and get everything nice and tidy before it goes in for shot blast. Again, we struggle with some of these bolts in these panels. The fixings just pulled straight out basically and left as a hole, so we're going to have to riv nut those. Radiator seems to have fared up pretty well. There's not really any damage to any of the fins, and it does hold coolant and doesn't leak. We have ran this for a little while, as you'll have seen at the beginning of this video. We drove it into the garage. It sounds sweet as a nut, and it does hold all its fluid, so that will probably just be restored again, and we'll keep that original radiator on there. This side's pretty straight. We did have to cut these bolts off to get this off because they were just completely seized solid. I don't think this truck has ever been stripped before, so some of these nuts and bolts have been quite tricky to get off. And again, same on this side, it's just pulled a couple of the studs out, a couple of the threads out, so that's going to want riv nutting. These do want straightening up a little bit. We've got a little bit of rust going on just up here. Again, it's not gone through, it just wants treating, cleaning, and probably zinc rich primer it just to stop this coming back, and then obviously it will be painted over the top anyway. The pillars, A-pillars are all pretty solid. There's a little bit of a scab just on front scuttle panel there, as you can see. Finger just goes right through that, so that is going to want a bit of a patch welding in there. That might render the dashboard, probably will have to come out for that because I don't want to set fire to it. We've stripped the top light board out, we're going to start restoring that. Customer wants that to go back on in its original format, so we're not going to bother putting LED lights or anything in that. We're literally going to leave it as it is, but restore it and make it all nice. Mirrors are off. These bolts again was a bit of a pain. A couple of these did snap. We've had to drill these and get some easy outs in there to get these studs, the snap studs, out. Again, I've already spoke about all these seals and everything. These will all get replaced. Some rust going on here in the quarter, nothing major. Again, just surface rust, hasn't gone through. Again, that'll just get treated, filled and painted. We've got all the wheel arches off. We had to chop every single one of these bolts out because they was just seized solid. But if you look up under there, it is really, really solid, this truck. Surprisingly, we thought we was going to find quite a bit of rust under here, but it's not. Let me just put a torch on so you can see a bit more. But yeah, it's really solid under here. It's all just pretty much surface rust. There is a little bit going on here that probably wants a little bit of treatment, but for the most part, really happy with that. All the floor pans are good, the chassis rails are good, the main chassis is good as well. Chassis legs up into the cab are all good. Mainly just sort of rusty nuts and bolts was the biggest challenge really. Move down this side, we started getting the bolts out for the fifth wheel. We was going to take the run-up ramps off as well, but unfortunately we can't because they've been welded on. We don't want to start messing around cutting them off, so we will be leaving the run-up ramps on. We've got these bolts, started to get these loose, so this fifth wheel is now pretty much ready to come off. We're going to be taking all the air lines off and all the Susies off as well, and basically stripping as much off as we can for shot blast. We have had the wheels changed. Again, if you've noticed on the first episode, we did mention that the tyre lads actually fitted the wrong rims, which rendered the tyres being stretched, and it was actually contacting the brake chamber, but that's been sorted now. We've got a nice gap between the spring and the tyre, and there is a gap between the brake chamber and the tyre as well, so that's now not fouling on the tyre, so that's good news. Rear light bracket completely rotten off. We will be fabricating new ones of these. That's completely gone, so all this will be getting made new. I've got some of the panels off here which are not in the best of shape. Door cards are alright, they'll live again. They just want re-trimming, so they'll be reused. These panels are not great, but I think we are stuck with these and we're probably going to have to reuse them. They have had some fiberglass repairs in the past, as you can see there on the back, but we'll probably reuse these and just make them as nice as we can. They're just full of filler, so we're going to grind out as much of this old filler as we can and do our own repairs on these and make them just as good as we can, really, because I don't think we'll be able to locate any new ones of these. But again, if any of you guys know of any, or you just happen to have any parts sat around for whatever reason, please do get in touch and drop us some comments. We've got all the front end here stripped off. All this will be reused and repaired, other than the mirror arms. We will be getting all new mirrors and new mirror arms because they're completely shot. We've got the tank straps off. They are reusable. They just want some rubbers putting on there between the tank straps and the tank. Bumper corners are completely knackered, and they're all sorts of different shapes and warped and all sorts of stuff going on with them, so they'll be put in the bin and we will be finding new ones of them. Front grille is repairable, and I'm going to go through the colour scheme on this truck with you very shortly as well as we move along. We do need new wing stays because these are completely rotten, and again this side there's just not much life left in them at all, so we'll be replacing those. Fuel tank, as I said, all the straps are off. That is now ready to be removed, and what we're going to do is just drop a 25 litre drum in that nice little compartment there, and we're going to put the fuel pipe into the drum, and we'll run it out of a drum for now just so we can sort of move it in and out of the workshop as and when we need to. A little bit of rust going on here, but again, just surface rust. I think we just caught this truck at the right time before it started getting really bad, so a bit of a saving grace for it, really. It's now indoors and staying dry. We've got the air intake off. This has had some damage to it, so it does need some repairs, but I think it is fixable. Well, it'll have to be fixable because again, I don't think we'll get a new one. However, the air filter box is not repairable. That is complete mush. There's no fixing that, unfortunately. Oof. That is definitely going to need replacing, so we do need one of them. If anyone knows where I can get one of them from. So the colours this truck is going into is going to be, majority of it is going to be cream and brown. So the cab is going to be cream, the wheel arches are going to be brown, all the chassis is going to be brown. So basically all the lower half of this vehicle is going into a brown colour. It's going to look really nice and really period correct for this vehicle in the colours it's going in. Now it is going to be a tribute truck, this, to an old firm. So the customer who we are restoring it for is basically doing it as a tribute truck to his father. I won't mention any names, but some of you guys might be able to guess just by the colours that this truck is going in. If you don't guess it now, you'll probably guess it as we go further into the project and you start seeing the colours go on the truck. I'm sure it will cotton on, but once it is all in paint, obviously we'll go a little further into that and tell you what company this truck is a tribute to. The wheels are going in the same colour as the cab, so they will be cream. The fuel tank's going in the brown. The front end is basically going very similar as it was. So we're keeping this red stripe. That top bit's going into cream. All this bit is staying black. Aki badge will stay in chrome. This is going to stay into like a brushed silver or brushed aluminium as it was originally. We'll get this restored and repaired. All the back ends going brown. All the wing stays will be brown to match the chassis. We're not entirely sure yet. We're still waiting on the customer's decision on this air intake, whether we leave it black, whether we do it cream to tie in with the colour the cab's going in, or whether we do it brown to match it coming up from the chassis area. So that's something we'll come back to. We're not entirely sure what colour we're going to do the intake yet. So I'll bring you into the cab and show you what we've been up to inside here. So door cards are all off and the doors are really solid even underneath. Again, it's just surface rust. There's nothing there that's really concerning at all. It just wants a right good cleaning up, treating and painting. The cab floors, again, just really solid. Surface rust, nothing of great concern at all. I'm really surprised how solid this truck is. Again, I think we just caught this at the right time. For the age of the vehicle, I mean, it's just solid. All the step plates, everything is just completely solid. If this was an ERF, I mean, we've done ERF restorations in the past, and they always rot along this wheel arch area here, and into the cab floors is usually rotten as well in the old ERFs and stuff like that. But this one, we've not got to worry about that, fortunately. So yeah, should be a really nice, straightforward project, this. We have found some nostalgia in this truck as well under the bed. This I actually thought was a real phone, but it turns out it's just a sort of an old toy phone. I don't even know what that was ever used for, but maybe the guy back then just wanted to look posh when phones first come out, who knows. But yeah, that's just a toy phone. We have an old newspaper featuring Princess Diana for the most part, and this is from Monday, October the 3rd, 1994. So that's done some years in this truck. Yeah, lots of Princess Diana stuff in this paper. But yeah, bit of nostalgia there. What else do we have? Diesel Driver magazine from November 1994, issue 23. What do we have in here? Not a lot really, maps and stuff. Not much interesting in there really, but again, that has been in that truck for some time. And then we have an old AA map book and contact book. Bit of a common feature back in the trucks when sat navs weren't available, and they was in pretty much every truck back in the day. I'll take you around the passenger side, show you the floor around there. And again, look at that. It's absolutely mint. I mean, you can't ask for much more than that on a truck of this age, can you? I was really concerned when we took this project on that when we lifted these floors up and everything, it was just going to spiral into one of them projects that just needs a crazy amount of work. But this is actually turning out to be far better than I thought it was going to be. There's not much welding needed on this at all, so that's good news. Again, this door is pretty mint. Just surface rust. Obviously we're going to put new seals on it, but we've got the old plaques there as well. I've never actually noticed that until I've come down to this level. Seddon Atkinson Vehicles, England. So yeah, there we go guys. She is making progress. Next week we're actually taking the gearbox out of this, and we're going to be putting a new clutch in it. So we'll try and get as much footage of that as I can. As we start to pull the box out and everything in this. We're also going to be going through the brakes, putting new drums and stuff on it, new brake shoes, which I've actually managed to get in stock. So I will be going through that, and again I will be recording as much of that as I can for you to give you a little bit of content on this truck. Just take you into Tom's little prep room. I'll show you the wheel arches. These do need a little bit of fabrication work. They have had some damage in the past and been repaired. So as you can see there, there's a little bit of damage on that corner, and it had been massively repaired before, probably overkill to be honest. So again, we will be repairing these. We'll be making this corner up basically with some mesh, some wire mesh, like the old school way. Basically get the wire mesh in there, which gives us then a backer to be able to fiberglass again. So we'll be remaking this corner out of fiberglass, and then obviously giving it a skim with some filler and making these nice and workable again. That one's not too bad. There's a bit of a crack just going on down here, but that will repair quite easily. And again, I don't think we'll find any of these new or in really much better condition than what we've got. So we'll work with what we've got. Don't mind a bit of a challenge. Tom loves to do bits like this, so I'm pretty sure he will be able to repair these no problem at all. So there's the piece that was in there originally, and that is an old school repair if I ever seen one. A good old wire mesh repair with fiberglass filler. I think that might be a little bit overkill. So all that in there just for that corner was probably a little bit too much. I mean, they definitely put a bit of strength back into it, but we basically will be repairing this in the same manner, using the wire mesh as a backer, and then going over the top of that with fiberglass, putting some strength into it, and then obviously giving it a bit of a skim with some filler to make it all nice and smooth and look as it should. That's now going to go in the bin, and we'll get these back to the shape they should be. So just before we go, who wants to hear this old Cummins fire up again one last time? Go on, that'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? I tell you what, these little things are absolutely brilliant. And this is not a plug, this is not an advertisement, they just are a really good bit of kit for what they are. Get these battery leads on. And let's see if she'll fire up again. No air intake on either, so it might be a little bit louder this time. I think that's on. Yes, it is. Oh, here it is, because the back lights have come on. Huh. Let's see if she fires. I'm pretty sure she will. Front lights on as well. There we go. Oh, let's make sure she's in neutral light. That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? Look at that, straight up. We'll let her warm up for a minute and give her a few revs. I don't want to run it too much though, because I don't want to smoke the workshop out and set all the fire alarms off. Right, she's warmed up a little bit. She's a little beast. So there's a little update on the Seddon. As you can see, it is moving along. It is getting worked on in the background. Lots and lots of things happening with this truck very soon. Again, if you do know any part suppliers, guys, please drop them down in the comments. It'd be a massive help. But don't forget to hit subscribe. Drop some comments. Let us know what you think of this build so far. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all on the next video.